Hare Krishna, good morning. So today we will be finishing this chapter. All the verses that are between now and 39 at the end are just a compound, just a unit. So Jaya Radha Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Jaya Kunja Vihari Gopi Janavallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Gopi Janavallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Yasodanandana Rajajanarayana Dana Rajajanarayana Yasodanandana Rajajanarayana Rajajanarayana Yamuna Dhiravanachari Yamuna Tirachari Jaya Radha Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Gopi Janavallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Gopi Janavallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Yasodanandana Rajajanarayana Yasodanandana Rajajanarayana Yasodanandana Rajajanarayana Yamuna Tirachari Yamuna Tirachari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Vihari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Vihari. Namam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajacharya Saraswata, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki, Brahmacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki, Jain Sikh Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Sundara Radha Kunda Giri Vardhan Ki, Vrindavan Dham Ki, Mathuram Navadvip Dham Ki, Jagannath Puri Dham Ki, Ganga Mai Ki, Yamuna Mai Ki, Tulsi Devi Ki, Vrihan Mirdanga Ki, Hare Krishna Mahamantra Ki Jai, Harinama Sankirtan Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shishi Guru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today we'll complete the chapter 66, Canto 10, chapter 66, starting with verse number 39. Tasurya koti pratimam sudarshanam Alyamanam pralayanala Tejasakam kakubhota rodasi Chakram mukundastram atanknim arda Tasurya koti pratimam sudarshanam Jajvalyamanam pralayanala prabham Swadejasakam kakubhota rodasi Chakram mukundastram ataknim ardayat Tatsurya koti pratimam sudarshanam Jajvalyamanam pralayanala prabham Swadejasakam kakubhota rodasi Chakram mukundastram ataknim ardayat Devotees? Tasurya koti pratimam sudarshanam Jvalyamanam pralayanala prabham Tasurya koti pratimam sudarshanam Jashvalyamanam pralayanam Tadejasakam kagubhatarodasi Chakram mukundastram ataknim ardayat Tatsuryakoti pratimam sudarshanam Jashvalyamanam pralayanana prabham Svatejasakam kakavotarodasi Chakramukundastramataknimardayat. Ladies. Tatsuryakoti pratimam sadarshanam Jashvalyamanam pralayanala prabham Svatejasakam kakupatarodasi Chakram mukundastramatagnipardayam. Word by word. Tat, that. Surya, of suns. Koti, millions. Pratinam, resembling. Sudarshanam, Sudarshana. Jashvalyamanam, blazing with fire. Pralayam, of universal annihilation. Anala, like the fire. Prabham, whose effulgence. Swa, his own. Tejasa, with heat. Kam, the sky. Kakubaha, the directions. Ata, and. Rodasi, heaven and earth. Chakram, the disk. Mukunda, of Lord Mukunda, of Lord Krishna. Astram, the weapon. Ata, also. Agnim, created by Sudakshina. Ardayat, tormented. Translation. There are no purports in this. There's no purport in this verse. That Sudarshana, the disc weapon of Lord Mukunda, blazed forth like millions of suns. His effulgence blazed like the fire of universal annihilation. And with his heat, he painted the sky, all the directions, heaven and earth, and also the fiery demon. There's an alternative word for pain the sky is tormented the sky, all the directions, heaven and earth, and also the fiery demons. Commentaries by the Acharyas. I'll read Sanatana Goswami's. After getting the order Atta, the chakra afflicted the fire demon because it was the weapon of the Lord who gives joy to his devotees, such as Shiva, Mukunda. Thus, it is shown as more powerful than just capable of burning the fire demon. It blazed like million suns. Though the chakra was sharp and hot, it was seen as pleasant to look at by the devotees, Sudarshanam, with his extraordinary heat, Swatejasa. The chakra burned even heaven and earth. Verse number 40. I'm just going to read through all the verses in the commentaries. Krityanala pratihata saratanga paner astra jasa sanirpabhakna mukho nivrittaha varanasim parisamit Pratya Sudakshinam Tam Sadvikjanam Samadahat Swakrito Bicharaha. Translation. Frustrated by the power of Lord Krishna's weapon, O king, the fiery creature produced by black magic turned his face away and retreated. Created for violence, the demon then returned to Varanasi, where he surrounded the city and then burned Sudakshina and his priests to death, even though Sudakshina was his creator. There's a purport in this verse. I don't know, it's my phone. Oh, it's right here. Okay, let me turn it off. The phone is jumping for joy. Purport. Srila Prabhupada comments as follows. Having failed to set fire to Dwarka, the fiery demon went back to Varanasi, the kingdom of Kashiraj. As a result of his return, all the priests who had helped instruct the black art of mantras, along with their employer, Sudakshina, were burned into ashes by the glaring effulgence of the fiery demon. According to the methods of black art, mantras instructed in the Tantra, if the mantra fails to kill the enemy, then, because it must kill someone, it kills the original creator. Sudakshina was the originator, and the priests assisted him. Therefore, all of them were burned to ashes. That is the way of the demons. The demons create something to kill God, but by the same weapon, the demons themselves are killed. And Srila Jiva Goswami writes, Krishna was the holder of the chakra. This shows that it was always in his hand. The chakra is thus glorified. The fire turned around and went back to Varanasi and burned up completely some Adahat, Sudakshina along with the Pramattas, till they were only ashes. The fire was Sudakshina's creation. This phrase produces astonishment and bliss. Astonishment for those who are listening to the narration, and for the devotees of the Supreme Lord is absolute bliss, because everything about Lord Krishna's pastimes is beautiful, artistic, blissful. Verse 41. Chakram cha Vishnos tadanu pravishtam varanasim satta sapalayapanam sago puratala koshta sankulam sakosha hastyashva ratana shalinim. Translation. This is verse 41. Lord Vishnu's disc also entered Varanasi in pursuit of the fiery demon and proceeded to burn the city to the ground, including all its assembly halls and residential palaces with raised porches, its numerous marketplaces, gateways, watchtowers, warehouses, and treasuries, and all the buildings housing elephants, horses, chariots, and grains. And Srila Sanatana Goswami writes, the chakra burned down the city. The chakra entered the city after the demon had performed his actions. Since the Lord pervaded the universe, Vishnu, this chakra had similar power of pervasion. Thus, the chakra burnt the gates, towers, and storehouses. Verse 42. Takva varanasim sarvam Vishnos chakram sudarshanam Bhuya parshvam upatishtat krishnasya klishta karmanaha. After burning down the entire city of Varanasi, Lord Vishnu's Sudarshan chakra returned to the side of Sri Krishna, whose actions are effortless. And Srila Sanatana Goswami writes, the phrase burning down is repeated to emphasize how the chakra completely burned everything. Thus, it is called the chakra of the pervading Lord, Vishnu. Or the description is given to indicate the chakra's complete dedication to the Lord and its exceptional power. Therefore, the chakra again stood by the Lord as his devotee. It was most beautiful, since it belonged to Krishna, endowed with all good qualities, whose actions produce happiness for all or easily destroy all suffering. And the last verse, 43. Ya enam shravayan martya uttama shloka vikramam samahito vashinyu srinuyat sarva papai pramochate. Any mortal who recounts this heroic pastime of Lord Uttama Shloka, or who simply hears it attentively, will become freed from all sins. I'll repeat this. This is what's happening to all of us who are hearing these pastimes. Any mortal who recounts this heroic pastime of Lord Uttama Shloka, or Uttama Shlokas, or who simply hears it attentively, will become freed from all sins. Haribol. And the purport by Sanatana Goswami, what more can be said? It was improper to burn all the inhabitants of the great holy place, Kashi. By hearing about the glories of the Lord, who punishes even those who associate with the wicked, one becomes free of all suffering. A person who hears this story of the exploits of Uttama Shloka becomes free of all sin. The person who is subject to death, not considering he is qualified to recite or hear, is freed of all sin. But he should have faith. Other persons would be nastikas. Or the person whose heart is offered to Krishna or endowed with Lakshmi, being the object of her affection because of bhakti to the Lord, becomes free of all sins at their root, and with effects about to fructify, with qualification for going to Vaikuntha. Thus the Lord is described as being endowed with praiseworthy qualities, Uttama Shloka. What more can be said? A person who makes others hear, giving benefit to himself and others, is freed from all sins. Thus the hearer is benefited. This gives much more result than individual endeavors for one's own benefit. That is the meaning of this word, va. E Krishna Karuna Sindhu, Dinavando, Jagatpate, Gopesha, Gopika Kanta, Radha Kanta Namostute, Dapta Kanchana Gaurangi, Radhe, Vrindavaneshvari, Rishavanu Sutedevi, Pranamami Hari, Vanchakalpataruvyacha, Kripa Sindhuvya Evacha, Patitanam Pavanevyo, Vaishnavevyo, Namo Namaha, Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we know from the scriptures, from Srila Prabhupada, the Acharyas, that the ultimate purpose and the real purpose of chanting the holy name is to attain love of the Supreme Lord, without chanting which, we cannot get to that level of loving the Supreme Lord in absolute blissful prayer. So how important it is to chant. And mentioning in class the other day about how the time of death, everybody, all the devotees aspire to be able to chant the name of Krishna when they are in their deathbed. So how do we get to come to that point where we are aware enough to be able to chant the holy name? By how? By practicing, right? And when do we practice? Now, constantly, that's the word, constantly. That is what's recommended. Of course, we have our 16 rounds to chant, but we don't stop breathing after 2 hours. We continue breathing. And the chanting of the holy name is the breathing of the soul. The soul wants to get energized, wants to get strong, and get ready to receive the mercy of the Supreme Lord. which is received gradually, every day, at every instant. Anyway, we can see the hand of Krishna helping us and blessing us. So this is a very powerful story. And finally, we're coming to the point where Sudakshina, who is the son of the king of Kashi, as you remember, is desiring to revenge the death of his father. And so he prays to Lord Shiva, and he prays for something that will eliminate Krishna, some benediction that will enable him to eliminate Krishna, to get Krishna out of the map. But Lord Shiva, of course, being the Supreme Lord, is on Lord Shiva, but of course, so he's giving this benediction to Sudakshina. They're doing all these sacrifices alongside with the personalities who only want to cause damage and pain to others. And so he becomes successful because from the fire, it's a fire sacrifice. From the fire emanates demon or demoness, because I've read in a couple of places. It's not going on, is it? Okay. Who is the demoness who is bent on destroying Dwarka, Krishna, Dwarka, all the citizens, everybody. And so one of the things that was, one of the conditions was that this demoness is going, or demon is going to destroy that person who doesn't have any regard for the Brahmanas. So Sudakshina, with his bright intelligence, comes to the conclusion that because everybody is worshipping Krishna, Krishna's just neglecting them. He doesn't care for the Brahmanas. So he says, oh, if he doesn't care for the Brahmanas, then this benediction is going to bear fruit. And Krishna and Dwarka, everything will be destroyed. But actually, Krishna is the greatest benefactor of the Brahmanas, the greatest appreciator of the Brahmanas. So it's going to go back. I'm so sorry. What's going on here? It's going to go back to him, and it's going to destroy him. But not only destroy him, it's going to destroy also the whole city of Kashi, because his father was the king of Kashi. He was from Kashi, and he's going to destroy all the demonic influences that are in Kashi. And there is something very interesting in, I was reading, going back to verse 30-31, it was the purports were not read that day during the class. And there is a purport here. I'll read the verse, and I'll read the purport. Okay. This verse is verses 30-31. The Lord Shiva told him, accompanied by Brahmanas, serve the Dakshayagni fire, telling him, instructing him on how to actually succeed in getting the benediction. The original priest, the Dakshinagni fire is the original priest, following the injunctions of the Abhichari ritual. Then the Dakshayagna fire, together with many pramatas, will fulfill your desire if you direct it against someone inimical to the Brahmanas. Here's the catch. So let's see. Srila Jiva Goswami is talking about how when the Supreme Lord descends, and this is Kunti praying, saying, you descend to propagate Bhakti Yoga unto the hearts of the advanced transcendentalists and mental speculators who are purified by being able to discriminate between matter and spirit. So the actual reason for the Supreme Lord to come down is to give prema. That's the purpose. That's the one and only purpose. Of course, secondary purpose is to destroy the miscreants and to annihilate the miscreants and to protect the devotees. But in seeing in this light, it takes a different turn. It takes a different meaning. Krishna comes to give Bhakti Yoga. This prema is the main motive of the Lord, with hundreds of scriptural statements to prove it, such as Salokya Shashti. And this is from Bhagavatam 3:39-13. He gives benefit to brahmanas and others by having them worship him while overcoming the fault of excessive awe and veneration for him. Interesting point here. He is giving prema with the desire that these personalities who worship him intently will give up such intense awe, excessive awe and veneration for the Supreme Lord. Because prema, and that's my daughter, I'm sorry, texting me from Germany. I'm so sorry, I cannot turn this up. Okay. Since the great devotees like Narada never deviate, it is said that such a nature develops just by spurti of the Lord. What to speak of by developing prema? So these great personalities who worship the Supreme Lord, it said that such a nature of devotional at the highest level is developed by spurti. And we've seen, like Dhruva Maharaj, like Prahlad Maharaj, so many personalities who have a vision of the Supreme Lord, and then their prema becomes to increase, or establishes in their hearts, or awakens, because the prema is always there. Worship of the Lord by the individual produces bhakti in the form of prema, but filled with realization of the Lord's powers. Worship of the Lord by the individual produces bhakti in the form of prema, but filled with realization of the Lord's powers. So it's not the highest level of prema, because to actually perceive the Lord's powers is not the ultimate goal. Ultimate goal is to have absolutely selfless love and total dedication to the service of the Supreme Lord. Now, by worship inspired by the Lord himself, however, the Lord gives the person pure prema with absorption in his qualities, like gentleness, even though he's also great. So the Lord himself gives the worshipper, by worship inspired, but this worship is inspired by the Lord himself. The Lord gives the person pure prema with absorption in his qualities like gentleness. There are so many qualities. Not only there are so many qualities, there are unlimited qualities. And not only there are unlimited qualities, they're always coming up newer and fresher and more in the personality of the Supreme Lord. Excuse me one second. I'm going to tell her to stop. Okay, thank you. Sorry about that. So this is a very important point. And so let's go to, let me bring up this verse 4:8 from the Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna is coming to give prema. So in this verse, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chadushkritam dharma samstapanartaya sambhavami yuge yuge. To deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the principles of religion. I myself appear millennium after millennium. It's very cut and dry, but we know that the Supreme Lord is not cut and dry. He's nothing but pure gentleness and pure kindness and pure compassion and excessive mercy for all living entities. So when it says here, and Krishna says, to deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, so let's examine what annihilating the miscreants is. Like, for example, in the case of Sudakshina, in these verses, that is being eliminated by the chakra disc of the Supreme Lord. And as an aside, the chakra disc is two discs that are full with teeth, so to speak, with sharp teeth. And they are rotating in opposite directions with the speed of mind. So imagine when you are your head is being cut by the Sudarshan Chik, the damage that's being caused is instantaneous practically, but it's also so powerful. So what is the outcome for Sudakshina? He's a miscreant, as we consider. So is Kamsa, who was also killed by Krishna. And so is Ravana, who was killed by Lord Ram. But what is their future? What is their prospect? What's happening to them? They're miscreants of the greatest order. But what's happening to them? Nothing but mercy. Shishupal, for example, they're either going to be taken to the Brahmajyoti, or they're going to be associates of the Supreme Lord in Vaikuntha, or in the case of Putana, Putana is going to be the nurse, Krishna's nurse, in direct service to the Supreme Lord in Goloka Vrindavan. So when the Lord says in this verse 4:8 of the Bhagavad Gita to protect the devotees, to annihilate the servants, everything is an act of supreme mercy from the Supreme Lord. To be killed as a demon by the Supreme Lord is glorious. It's glorious because everything that the Supreme Lord does is for our benefit. And also, especially for his enjoyment. He's having so much fun participating in these pastimes with the unlimited living entities. And each one of them, like leaves the tree, each one is different. We are all different. Everyone is unique. And everyone can please the Lord with unique flavor. So, I'm going to finish the class by reading a verse from the Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Lila. It's chapter 4 and it's verse 71. Antya Lila, chapter 4, verse 71. What is the greatest benediction that Krishna has given us, inhabitants of at the time of Kali Yuga? What is the greatest benediction? That when we're dispossessed of everything, we still have that. What is it? The holy name, thank you. The holy name. When we have nothing, the holy name is always with us, always. So this verse is Dharamadi Sarva Shrestha Nama Sankirtan Niraparada Nama Laile Paya Premadan. Of the 9 processes of devotional service, the most important is always to chant the holy name of the Lord. And it's not said here, it's said everywhere. In the whole Bhagavatam is filled with references about the chanting of the holy name. So, of course, Lord Chaitanya established this process, and which is eternal. It's an eternal process, not like he started it. It's there always as Krishna's presence in our lives. Of the 9 processes of devotional service, the most important is to always chant the holy name of the Lord. If one does so, avoiding the 10 kinds of offenses, one very easily obtains the most valuable love of Godhead. And I read before that it is chanting the holy name that gives us pure, absolutely transcendental, exquisitely clean, pure love of the Supreme Lord. Srila Jiva Goswami gives the following directions in his Bhakti Sandarbha. And he's quoting from verse 270. I'll skip the Sanskrit, it's a very thick, long paragraph. Chanting the holy name is the chief means of attaining love of Godhead. This chanting or devotional service does not depend on any paraphernalia, nor on one's having taken birth in a good family. By humility and meekness, one attracts the attention of Krishna. How would we attract the attention of Krishna? What qualities are necessary? Humility and meekness. That is the verdict of the Vedas. Therefore, if one becomes very humble and meek, you can easily attain the lotus feet of Krishna in this age of Kali. And so how can we become humble and meek? By serving the Vaishnavas, very good, wonderful, by chanting the holy name, by serving the Guru, by so many very foolproof processes. That is the fulfillment of all great sacrifices, penances, and austerities, because when one achieves ecstatic love of Godhead, he attains the complete perfection of life. I'll read this second part of the line. When one achieves ecstatic love of Godhead, he attains the complete perfection of life. Therefore, whatever one does in executing devotional service must be accompanied by the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Anything and everything must be accompanied by the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Who is writing this? I'm reading from somebody. Srila Jiva Goswami saying this. He should know, right? The chanting of the holy name of Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, has been praised by Srila Rupa Goswami in his Namastaka. If you've never seen the Namastaka, there are 8 verses that Srila Rupa Goswami wrote glorifying the holy name. So I think we have 1 or 2 minutes, and I'm going to stop. I recommend that you go to Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya Lila, chapter 4, verse 71, because it goes on and on. It's absolutely extraordinary, and so perfect for the sadhakas, and so perfect for the pure devotees also, for everybody. That's the instruction. The core of this movement is chanting of the holy name of the Supreme Lord. Do we have time for that? 7:15? Okay, I'll go. Read it? No, you read it.
O Harinam, the tips of the toes of your lotus feet are constantly being worshipped by the glowing radiance emanating from the string of gems known as the Upanishads, the crown jewels of all the Vedas. You are eternally adored by liberated souls such as Narada and Shukadev. O Harinam, I take complete shelter of you.
Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Enam Kanvandam Maravindanalaya Taksham Varhavatam Samasitam Buddhasundarangam Kandar Bhagom Vidamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasa Sakalem Priya Priti Manti Vasyan Divan Vikayanti Chiram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami 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 Govindam Adipurusham
Namam Ishvaram Satchit Ananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Namam Ishvaram Satchit Ananda Rupam Lasat Kundala Gokule Brajamanam Yasoda Biyo Lukaladavamanam Param Ristram Avyantato Druknagopya Yashoda Biyo Lukaladavamanam Param Risham Atyanta Todrutyagopya Arudantam Mohornetra Yugmam Rajantam Karamboja Yugmena Satankanetram Rudandam Mohornetra Yugmam Rajantam Karamboja Yugmena Satankanetram Muhuswashakam Patirekhankakanta Stita Griva Damodaram Bhakti Badam Muhuswasakam Patirekhankakanta Stita Griva Damodaram Bhakti Badam Yedidrik swalila birananda kunde Swagoshamni majantam akyapayantam Yedidrik swalila birananda kunde Swagoshamni majantam akyapayantam Tariye shitad yeshu bhaktar jitatvam Puna prema tastam shatta vritti vande Tariye shitad yeshu bhaktar jitatvam Puna prema tastam ivande Varam deva moksham na moksham davimva Nachanyam bruneham vareshadapiha Varam deva moksham na moksham davimva Nachanyam bruneham vareshadapiha Idam teva purnata gopala balam Sadame manasya virastam kimanyai Idam teva purnata gopala balam Sadame manasya virastam kimanyai Idam te makumbojam atyanta nilair Ritam kundulai snigda raktaishcha gopya Idam te makumbojam atyanta nilair Ritam kundulai snigda raktaishcha gopya Mohushchumbidam bimba raktastarame Manasya virastam alam lakshalabhai Mohushchumbidam bimba raktastarame Manasya virastam alam lakshalabhai Namo Deva Damodarananda Vishnu Prasida Prabho Dukkha Jalabni Magnam Namo Deva Damodarananda Vishnu Prasida Prabho Dukkha Jalabni Magnam Kripa drishti rishtaditinam batanu Grihanesha mamagyame jakshi drishya Kripa drishti rishtaditinam batanu Grihanesha mamagyame jakshi drishya Kuveratmajo bada murjaiva yadvat Twaya mochito bhakti bhajo kritocha Kuveratmajo bada murjaiva yadvat Twaya mochito bhakti bhajo Tata prema bhaktim swakame priyacha Namokshe graho mesti damodareha Tata prema bhaktim swakame priyacha Namokshe mesti damodareha Namaste sturdamne sparadipti damne Twadi odorayat Vishvasya Damne. Namaste stu Damne Sparadipti Damne. Twadiyo Darayata Vishvasya Damne. Namo Radhikayai Twadiyai Priyayai. Namo Nandalilaya Devaya Tubhyam. 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radhe, Jaya Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radha, Jaya Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radhe, Jaya Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radha, Jaya Radha Golokananda Radha Golokananda Radhe, 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 Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya 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 Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe. Shri Shri Radha Damodar ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Golokananda ki jai, Jai 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 Shri Radhe Sham. To the Supreme Controller, who possesses an eternal form of blissful knowledge, whose glistening earrings swing to and fro, who manifested himself in Gokula, who stole the butter that the gopis kept hanging from the rafters of their storerooms, but jumped up and ran in retreat